Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well and I hope that you have an incredible day. I am here to do an intuitive card reading to see what messages, insight, and guidance the universe has for us, especially when it comes to, having boundaries, having standards, having non-negotiables, and, standing your ground, not, being a pushover and letting other people dictate your life and what you can allow in and what you're okay with kind of thing. So let's take a look at the cards and see what the universe has to share. Okay, so we have lavender, connect to body, mind, and soul. So a lot of times we're not fully connected in one or multiple of these areas, and it's when we're fully connected that we can pick up on signs. We can, be more in tune with what feels right because the energy doesn't lie. For instance, a lot of times we're super connected to the mind to the point where it can be detrimental. The mind can be running a mile a minute. It can come up with all these, explanations, logic, and reasoning for why you should stay somewhere. Like, for instance, if you were in a job. Let's say you were feeling it's time to move on. Well, the mind can be very convincing. It can be like, no, you need to stay. You get all this money. You have these benefits. You've been here for so long, this, that, and the other. But in reality, maybe it's a really toxic work environment. Maybe your coworkers and your boss are all verbally abusive. Maybe you have all these long hours and you have to always be on call and you have unpaid overtime, this, that, and the other. You have this super long commute, all these things, and it's like you feel like it's time to move on, like there's something better, but the mind can convince you, like, no, don't do it. It's in your benefit to stay because of the money, the benefits. And it's like, that may be true. It's not that having the money is beneficial or the benefits, but if it is, if you're sacrificing your well-being and your peace of mind for it, is it truly worth it? And we shouldn't have to settle for a tight squeeze when we can have a perfect fit. If you want something, it's out there. It may take time to find it. You may not find it right away, but it's out there. Like in terms of relationships. So I have a friend who did not listen to what she truly wanted and tried to settle for less and, kept sacrificing what she wanted to try to make things work with this person. And this other person, they were not on the same page. He didn't want to have kids right away, didn't want to get married, even though he proposed to her, which was a whole thing, and, didn't want to get a house together, even though his dad was willing to buy them a house. And, he just wanted to, get duplexes or something and, flip them. And my friend was not happy because they already had a child. And it's it wasn't very suitable for raising a child to constantly, living in a house that needs all this work and you're doing construction on and then flipping it and then moving somewhere else. It's not very conducive to raising a family. And so she ended up having to continuously sacrifice what she wanted. And anytime she tried to bring up, what she wanted, she was told she was being, crazy and unreasonable and dramatic and why are you doing this? And it's just it was expected of her to basically be quiet and just concede and go along with whatever he wanted. But you shouldn't have to do that. That's not a good fit. There's someone out there who wants what you want, so don't sacrifice, don't settle for less, don't play small, don't dim your light. You have your standards for a reason. You have healthy boundaries for a reason. If you don't have these boundaries, people are going to take advantage of you. So that's why it's so important to get aligned with body, mind, and soul. When you get aligned, you can get these messages and you know what's true to you. You know what your path, you know what you want, and you won't sacrifice on non-negotiables. My friend, she wanted that family, she wanted the home and all these things, but he wasn't the one for it. And it's on the other hand, it's he shouldn't, have to sacrifice what he wants either. It's they should just not be together. And I get why my friend was doing it because of their kid, but it's you're not a good fit for each other. You want two drastically different things. You are on different paths. So, like, we got to be real. We got to be honest. And it's okay to have standards. It's okay to have non-negotiables. That helps you figure out what path you're on. Yeah. Establish boundaries. That's the thing. We need those healthy boundaries. And anyone who cannot respect our boundaries and they make it out that we're crazy or we're unreasonable or we're just being dramatic or, we're just highly emotional, like used all that manipulation and the gaslighting and the validation, all of that, those are not the kind of people you want to be around. Those aren't your people. They're not. That's very unhealthy, toxic dynamics. It's so unhealthy. And why spend your time, energy, and attention on people who cannot respect you, who cannot be kind and loving towards you? Because if they're going to try to guilt trip you every time and manipulate you and coerce you and all these things, that's just going to destroy you inside and out. Like, don't do that to yourself. You are allowed to have boundaries. It's important. Have those strong boundaries. There's a deeper reason for each of your questions. Seek it. Yeah, that's the thing. So often we try to brush things off, to disregard it. Like when my friend was having questions about that person, it's like there's a deeper reason for it. Don't just, ignore it and try to act like everything's fine. It's like, oh yeah, it's great. It's like, don't do that to yourself. Don't be in denial. Like, go deeper. Search out the answers, because there's a reason for it. If something is in your soul, if you feel stirring, if you want to pursue something and go down a path and have questions, there's a reason for it. You're being guided by the universe, by the divine. Don't ignore it. Guidance, attention, help, maybe. Love always. Criticism, never. The question was, what to give to others, if anything. So the thing is, like, when it comes to people, like if you're feeling uncertain about and having doubts about, a job or a relationship or a potential home, whatever it may be, you shouldn't just ignore it. There's a reason it's there. Like, in terms of my friend, it's like she shouldn't be continuing to invest all this time, energy, and attention into that relationship that was so unhealthy and wasn't what she wanted. And that's not to say that we can't give, people some grace, because, we're all human. We all can make mistakes. We're all learning, growing, and improving. But he obviously wasn't willing to learn, grow, and improve with her. He was dead set on staying exactly how he was and continuing all this unhealthy, toxic dynamics, screaming at her. Like, there was a time where she was very concerned for her well-being, and he could have seriously messed her up. Like, in his fit of anger, like, he was slamming doors and almost slammed it on her, and like, it terrified their child, and like, all these things. So it's like, she felt it in her soul, and like, for several years she was like kind of putting off the question, because on the one hand, you don't want to be like, well, I was foolish to invest all this time, energy, and attention on it, something. But it's like, once you feel like you need to leave something, don't keep, being on the fence and waiting it out and all that. Like, start taking action, whether that be to address it with the person, whether it be to look for alternatives and a way out, like, whatever it is. Don't keep just sitting still and like twiddling your thumbs, whether metaphorically or literally, because there's a reason for this. The universe is giving you signs. So, maybe you need to reflect on it more, journal, meditate, talk to other people, do something, because doing nothing isn't going to help you. It's probably just going to potentially get you deeper in the hole, because like, that's what happened to my friend, unfortunately. Yeah, be true to yourself. Like, that's the thing. It wasn't just him, it was his parents. They were like, I honestly, like, I can't officially diagnose anyone, but based on what I learned about narcissism, I feel like they all are. Like, she went up to the parents because the parents decided that they needed to have a family meeting. about the two of their relationships. And honestly, the parents have been trying to control a lot of things, and my friend was trying to move on and all these things, and like they're just like putting their noses where they don't belong. But like she was explaining to them what happened because he had promised all these things and how he was going to change all that, and then he didn't. And then the mom just goes up to her and is like, and you believed him. Like, she was such a fool. And it's just like, you should be able to believe your partner, the father of your child. Like, it's sad, you know, that we've gotten to a place where we can't do that with a lot of people because, you know, they show us their true colors. And it's like, I can't trust you. I can't rely on you. Even though I should be able to, because, like, common decency, respect, integrity, honesty, kindness, love, compassion, like all that seems to be very scarce in modern society. But like, she was being punished by them for being true to herself and being honest about what she wanted and like calling things out, having those boundaries, having those standards, you know, having non-negotiables. And it's like, no, you don't get to treat me this way. Like, he wasn't seeing her and their child at all. There'd be like, I think at one point she was telling me how over half a year went by and she hadn't even heard from him because she just stopped trying to reach out to him. And then he'd get mad at her and be like, why are you not doing anything? It's like, because you like invest literally nothing. So that's the thing. Like, you have to be true to yourself. You have to be real. You have to be honest. Don't try to force yourself into a tight squeeze when you can have a perfect fit. Like, you're allowed to have non-negotiables. You're allowed to have preferences. You're allowed to have standards. Like, that's the thing about society. It feels like the standards have just gone down the toilet. People are allowed to be so corrupt and immoral and just dishonest and mean and hurtful. And like, I remember one time I was with a friend driving around in this like little mini bus transportation like service passed by, and it said oats and it said operating above the standard. And I was like in terms of standard, the norm is like, if you're operating above the standard and the standard is basically in the garbage, that's not saying much. You don't have to be much to be operating above like literally trash standards. And that's what it feels like with a lot of society, and it's so sad. And then anyone who's being authentic and real and having those non-negotiables, having those standards, having boundaries that are healthy, they get called out and like you get accused of being mean and hurtful and nasty and just unreasonable. And then it's like, what? No, like, that's not how this works. Like, you don't get to say I'm the crazy one for being the reasonable one. Like, no, I'm not going to accept mistreatment. No, I'm not going to accept you to scream at me or to threaten me. Because, like, that happened with that toxic group and the narcissist. Like, guys, I kid you not. He was going around trying to, you know, use people as messengers and all that, and was telling them that he was going to sue me for defamation. And I'm like, I haven't said anything about you. I haven't shared screenshots. Like, I have the receipts. Like, I could show a lot. I could. I'm like, I'm not going to be petty and play those games. And he's telling them, it's like, yeah, she's going around and defaming me and like sharing medical information and like all these things. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm going around doing like PSAs about narcissism and talking about how I escaped an officially diagnosed narcissist and stuff like that. But I'm like not naming names. And it's like, I'm not, you know, giving like all this personal information so he could be identified. So I'm just like, no. And it's just like, and then he's crying about like how he's like going all these stuff where he's like, oh, it hurts me so much to read what she's writing online, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, then don't read it. Like, this is on a personal website. You don't have to go to my personal website. I'm not going to like social media walls of yours or whatever, or, like accounts and like posting these long ranting things to you. It's like, I'm having nothing to do with you. You are seeking out me and my content. Like, he was telling the people that he was going around reading all the comments I was making on YouTube. And so it's like, he's going onto other videos and looking for what I've commented. And it's like, You say that I'm the unreasonable one, I'm the unhinged one, I'm the crazy one, I'm the one who's highly unstable and like emotional and volatile and all that. It's like, really? Because, yeah, I'm not trying to start any drama. I'm just being truthful. And it's like, facts are facts, and I escaped a toxic narcissist and a toxic group, and yeah, I'm not putting up with that. And like, people who are not being authentic are going to get really jealous and irritated by that, and they're going to come after the authentic ones because they feel like we're a threat. You may not ever understand what's going on in their life, but you can always figure out what's going on in yours. Yeah, like that's the thing with that toxic group and that narcissist and my friend's ex and all that. Like, I try to understand, I try to ask questions, I try to have that open, honest, respectful communication, but like, as hard as I try, like, I genuinely don't get it with people who are being so nasty to one another and all that. And I'm like, part of me is like, I don't think I want to. Like, I can come up with potential reasons on why people do certain things, but it's like if they're highly emotional, that it's like, you're allowed to have your emotions, you're allowed to be human, you're allowed to have bad days, but that doesn't give you a free pass. And so, like, all these people are telling me that I should be petty and like, share the receipts on like what that toxic group and the narcissist did, and I'm like, I can see why people would want to. I could see how people would feel like that's justified because they did a lot of hurt, they did a lot of nastiness, but it's like, I'm being true to myself, and that feels icky to me. Like, yes, I should call things out, and I did. I called it out to them, the group in question, but it's like, I'm going to be true to myself. I'm not going to choose to be petty. I want to be able to rest easy at night, and when I lay my head down, know that I've been proud for doing the best that I could. And it's just like, stooping down to their level is not true to me. It's not. Maybe that's true to some people, and to each their own, but it's not true to me. And so, like, that's the thing. Like, we got to stay true to ourselves. We can't let other people just like have us lower our standards, not live a life of integrity, not have accountability. It's like, no. Like, have the healthy boundaries, have the non-negotiables, know who you are, and live accordingly. Like, we don't need to get in the nonsense. We don't need to get in the mess. People are going to try. But yeah, don't be misled. They will try to mislead you. They will try to confuse you. They will try to gaslight you and invalidate you and all these things. Don't be misled. You can feel like, not necessarily like the direct path that you need to take in terms of like the destination, but you can feel in your heart whether something feels right or wrong, whether or not the path you are starting to walk down feels good. And sometimes you're not sure, and so you need a little bit of time, but like, you can figure it out. Don't be misled by them. Oftentimes they don't know what they're doing either. And so, since they don't know, they don't want anyone else to. Kind of the misery loves company thing. When fear speaks, it's always wrong, unless being chased by wildebeest. And then when love speaks, it's always right, and usually bouncy. So, yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, the narcissist and that toxic group and all that, like, they're being led by fear, by insecurity, worry, all these negative things. And that's not to say that they're wrong for having human emotions, but they like fixate on it and obsess over it and let it fester, and like, it warps their perception of things, and they're not coming from this pure intentions place. They're not coming from a place of like common decency. And it's like, you don't need to be misled by people like that. Just because there are people out there who choose to do wrong, who choose to harm and all that, doesn't mean you have to be one of them. Yes, call them out. Yes, have the healthy boundaries. Yes, have your standards and non-negotiables. But that doesn't mean you need to play their game. Because they're going to try. Like, that group tried so hard, and so did my friend's ex. Like, they try to get you in playing their game, so then they have, that ammunition to use against you. Like, if you get angry at them and start yelling or whatever, it's just like, see, this is why I'm this way, because you're so nasty, you're so mean, you do all these horrible things. And so it's like, you don't need to play their game. You don't need to play their game. Love is the reason. And that doesn't necessarily just mean love for other people, but love for yourself, because have those healthy boundaries, have those standards, have those non-negotiables, like have it for yourself. Stay true to yourself for love for you, for respect and kindness to you. Like, we don't need to play their games. We don't need to get misled. Each person in your life is there for a reason, and that reason always has something to do with love. So some of you might be like, wait a minute, like that toxic group in my life, and the narcissist in my life, and my friend text, like, you'd be like, the reason they're in there is love. And it's like, we could have loved them. Doesn't mean they necessarily love us back or treat us well, but the universe will send us the people, places, and things that we need for our journey and how to help us, reach the next level. And, it's sort of like in school, how those assignments, homework, projects, whatever, it's like some of them are really, really tough. But if we don't undergo them, we won't be ready for the next, content, the next course, the next grade level, the next exam, whatever it is. So the universe sends us what we need out of love. It could be tough love if we're not like picking up on the lessons and we need the extra, guidance and all that. But it's like, it's ultimately love. And we need to love ourselves enough to know when to walk away, to know when enough is enough, to know when we should no longer be engaging. And it can be easier said than done, because, oh boy, like, I'm glad that I was able to get away from the narcissist, because honestly, I feel like it would end up a lot like my friend and her ex. And it's just like, seeing what's going down with them, it's just like, that's really terrifying, because like he got really stalkery, and like he was not mentally stable or emotionally stable, and he was going off the deep end, guys. Like, she needed a restraining order for him. So yeah, like, love yourself, have those healthy boundaries, because yes, they are very necessary. Very necessary. People can try to like make you out to be the bad guy for having them. It's like, no. And yeah, the bravery, like, it can take a lot of courage and bravery to speak up, to stand your ground, to have those boundaries, to say, no, this is my line in the sand, this is a non-negotiable. No, I'm not going to sacrifice that. Because yes, at a certain point, there needs to be some compromise, there needs to be some flexibility, because like, I'm not one who likes to do a lot of shopping. Like, I can shop. I like finding exciting things to give as gifts and whatnot, and like finding cool things to do with like arts and crafts and everything. But like, I've had friends who are just like obsessed with shopping, and that's not for me. But it's like, because I love them, because I enjoy spending time with them, there is a bit of compromise where I will go with them to go shopping. Like the other day, I went with my best friend to go shopping because she wanted help. She wanted to get, baby food, because she has the 6-month-old, and, she has the 7-year-old, and she's out of school now. And so it's like, she needed help. And it's like, do I really want to go to the store? Not really, because, it was one of the busier times of the day. But it's like, you need help. I want to spend time with you. I want to see you. So it's like, yes, I will, be flexible and make a compromise, because it's not ideal, but it's like, I can work with this. But there are other things, like disrespect, abuse, invalidation, gaslighting, all that, where it's like, it's a non-negotiable. It's like, no, you don't get to do that. Like when that friend decided to blow up on me and just do this onslaught of barrage of all this nastiness and hate and disrespect and aggression, it's just like, no, I'm leaving this conversation. I'm gonna let you be, because people don't always handle that well, and she didn't. She just kept going off and off and off, and it's like, nope, I'm not addressing this at all. Like, I'm out of this conversation. You do you. Have fun with that energy. And it's like, it really can be hard, especially if we're not used to, standing our ground, to enforcing these healthy boundaries, to, walk away, and, when enough is enough. But it's very necessary. And because we are standing our ground, because we're having those healthy boundaries, because we're knowing what our non-negotiables are and our standards are, It's leading to this rebirth. It's allowing all these people, places, and things that align with our true frequency, with who we truly are, to come in. Because if we're being wishy-washy and we're not staying true to ourselves and we're like making these compromises on non-negotiables, we're going to have the wrong people, places, and things coming into our lives. Because we're telling the universe with our thoughts, like our energy, with our actions, like we're like that kind of stuff is acceptable, and the universe is like, okay, if you say so, here you go, and gives you more of it. So that's why it's like you got to know when to say no and realize that no can be a complete sentence. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to explain. It's like, oh, well, because of this and that and the other. It's like, you can explain if you want to, but you do not have to. Like, if someone's like trying to get you somewhere you don't want to be, and it's just like, no, I'm not going. It's like, oh, come on, it'll be lots of fun, this, that, and the other. Why are you being a sicko mode? It's like, no, I'm not going. If you want to go, have fun. But I don't feel it. You're allowed to say no. And it's going to be a very powerful rebirth for you if you can be true to yourself. If you can, come from a place of love, have those boundaries, have your non-negotiables, and like explore these questions because they're there for a reason. Like, don't get misled, because other people can be persuasive. They can, trip you up and confuse you and mislead you and like get you questioning yourself and doubting yourself and be like, oh, maybe really, I really am, being hurtful and unreasonable and all these things, because the narcissist and the toxic group did it all the time. And that's why it wasn't until after I got away from all of them, I got out of that situation, broke free, that I was realizing how heavy and drained I was feeling from being around them. And it was a rebirth. It was messy because like I had all those, mixed feelings, because I do care about them. I wish them the best, but it's like there's a lot of hurt. And sometimes rebirth can be messy. There can be growing pains, but you got to stay the course. You got to keep the courage to be you, to know what's your non-negotiables. Yeah, forgive. May you let it be. That's the thing, like with what happened with that friend who was blowing up on me and that toxic group and the narcissist, like, you got to forgive. We got to let them be. They're going to do what they're going to do. People are people. They choose what they choose. But we don't have to carry around a bunch of hate and resentment and bitterness. And it's like, those feelings are justified because they have hurt us. But if we carry those around and refuse to let them go and let them fester and grow inside of us, we're just poisoning ourselves. Mind you, forgiveness does not mean that you open the door for them again. That's not the same thing. Forgiveness means you're not dragging it around and like having all this energy, like negative energy towards it. It means you're letting it go. The past is in the past. Learn from it so you don't keep letting in these people that are hurting you and giving them access to you. But you don't need to carry it around with you. You don't need to be like burdened by all that baggage and dead weight. Let it be. Let it go. Like with those people, like I tried to have those communications, like open, honest conversations with them. I tried to give them chances. I tried to give them grace. I tried to, reach an understanding. They weren't having it. They didn't want that. They weren't choosing it. So it's like you gotta know when to cut your losses and be like, okay, you do you. We're on two different paths. I wish you the best. I'm going on my own way. See ya. And, they're not going to like that because they want, to drag you along on theirs. But you got to be courageous. May each breaking wave build your courage. Like, some of the waves of life can be brutal. Like, you can crash out, but, like, you got to keep getting back up. You can't let it break you. And, if you need some time to lick your metaphorical wounds, do so. Like, if you need extra rest and, like, give yourself some extra TLC and, like, with the self-care and all that, that's perfectly acceptable. Do that. But don't let these other people mislead you. Don't let them break you. Don't let them convince you that everybody's like them, because there are people who want the same thing as you. There are people who are looking for those kind, loving, respectful relationships that have honesty and integrity and accountability and support and care and trust. Like, there are people out there who want that. So be courageous and keep going. You will find them. They will come to you. But you gotta truly be yourself in order to find those people. And have some faith. May trust steady your fears. Because, some days the journey's going to be pretty challenging. It's going to be pretty turbulent, and you may start questioning and doubting. And it's like, I don't know if I can make this. Some of these waves are really big, but stay the course. Keep your faith and hope alive. The universe is here guiding you. It's protecting you. It's nurturing you. It's not going to abandon you. It's going to use everything for your benefit, even if it doesn't quite seem like it. Keep your boundaries. Keep your non-negotiables. And believe that it's going to work out, because it will. It will work out in the end. Persist. May your ripples build the swell. Like, that's the thing. We got to stay persistent. We can't let other people mislead us to get us to compromise on our non-negotiables and our standards, to let us, bend and rake on our boundaries and be like, well, it's okay. I guess I didn't really mean it. It's like, no. Have your healthy boundaries. Don't let them walk all over you. Don't let them gaslight you and belittle you and disrespect you. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Yeah, again, with the faith and the trust, I don't need to find my purpose. My purpose will find me. As long as you're being true to yourself, as long as you're standing your ground, having those boundaries, saying, being authentic and genuine, and knowing what your non-negotiables are, it's going to find you. It's all going to find you. It's going to be attracted to you like a magnet. Like attracts like. The energy you put out will come back to you. So don't be misled by other people. Stay from a place of love for yourself and other people. You don't need to play their nasty, manipulative games. You don't need to go down that road. It's just, you know how people are. Yeah. When I shine bright, I give permission to shine with me. I give others permission to shine with me. That's the thing. There are so many people out there who think it's not okay to be themselves, to be authentic, to let their true colors shine. They think that, this is just the way life is, and I gotta fit the mold, and I gotta, twist and contort myself to, get this tight squeeze, and I can't go outside of this box, and I can't color outside the lines. But when you're genuine and authentic, and you're coming from a place of love and kindness and respect, and just being who you are, knowing your standards, knowing your non-negotiables, enforcing those boundaries, you're going to light the way for other people. They're going to see it's possible. So it's just like, when you are who you are, other people realize they can be who they are, and they don't need to, apologize for having those boundaries, or, having the non-negotiables. Is like, no is a complete sentence. They can say no, and that's okay. It's also okay to say yes to things. Not that everyone always thinks that. But yeah, with modern society and other people who can be misleading, temptation will test you. I won't lie, with that toxic group and the narcissist, it was kind of tempting to, sink down to their level and to be petty and to, share their receipts and be like, really, I'm the one. And so the last thing the narcissist said to me before everything really just blew up was that there was no point to having a conversation or to giving a reason or an explanation. He's just things. And I was like, okay, but it's you're coming out of the blue with this, but whatever. And he just kept going on about how hurt he was because I wasn't talking to him. It's you're the one who said it was pointless. And part of me wanted to just screenshot the message he sent me and be like, see, this is where we're at. It's obviously pointless according to you. And then like with all that he was doing, he was just like trying to twist and contort and make him out to be the victim, when I was just like trying to be open, honest, and loving and respectful and all these things. And like this quote from Toy Story, like at first I didn't remember what it was, I just remember the line, but then I realized it was Toy Story when it was Buzz Lightyear talking to Woody. He was like going on about how it's like, you are a sad, strange little man. You have my pity. Farewell. And I was like, part of me wanted to send it to him, but I'm like, that just feels like I'm kind of sinking to their level, because that's the kind of things that they would do. And like they're just like, you know, keeping up the hurt and like all these things and like playing these manipulative petty games. It's like, I'm not interested in playing those games. So I kept to myself, although I did tell a couple of friends that I sent to him, like, I'm really tempted to send this, and they're like laughing. He's like, you should. It's like, I'm proud of you for being the bigger person, but you should. And I'm just like, I just might have like little fantasies about sending it to him, but I don't want to go down that road. I'm not looking to cause more hurt. And that's the thing, like, there will be temptation. You will be tested. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure about these boundaries? Are you sure about these non-negotiables? They'll try to get you to break, and it's just like, don't be misled. Don't be misled by the temptation. Stay the course. Yeah. Camel. Persevere and you will overcome problems. That's the thing. I overcame that toxic group of the narcissist. My friend overcame what we believe is a narcissist or maybe sociopath. Like, he has some things, like, she's been doing research and she's like, I'm seeing too many things that are checking boxes. And it's like, yeah, he's that whole family is not healthy. There's like so much toxicity in there, but she made it through. She's, aside from, you know, kind of co-parenting, sort of, like, it's really his parents that are, you know, taking care of the child because he's just like sleeping all day, and it's a whole thing, but she overcame it. She doesn't have to deal with all the messy court things anymore. And so it's like, yeah, you gotta persevere. Yes, there can be storms, but you will overcome it. Promise. And it'll lead to good fortune, Beetle. And it's just like, it's because you're having the courage. It's because it's leading to your rebirth. You're being true to yourself. You know, you're having the boundaries. Okay, the universe really wants you to know that it's going to work out in your favor. Horseshoe, good luck. You have good fortune and good luck. So don't settle for less. Don't compromise your non-negotiables. Don't compromise your boundaries. Stay true to you. The right people, places, and things will find you. But you gotta make sure you stay steady with your energy and you're not, you know, muddying it up with, you know, compromising things and be like, well, maybe it's okay. It's like, no. You know what's okay and what's not. You know what's acceptable. Sunrise, new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. Yeah, this is a rebirth for you. It really, really is. And, you know, take care. Enemies are working against you. Like, that's why the universe is saying, don't be misled. Temptation's going to test you. They're going to try to push your limits, push your boundaries, push your buttons to see what they can get away with. Don't do it. Don't give in to the temptation to, you know, sink to their level. Yes, we're all human, so don't beat yourself up if you're getting too caught up in the emotions, but you are allowed to walk away. You can say, I'm not going to have this conversation right now. I will come back when we're both in a calmer state, when we both can be respectful and, you know, courteous and all these things. Like, you're allowed to do that. Because these people, they're going to try. They're going to try to work against you. They're going to try to trip you up. And, you know, let them do them, but you don't have to do it. You can be true to yourself. Because at the end, egg, success is assured with good plans and hard work. You were working hard. You were finding the courage. You were finding the bravery. You are persevering and you're having the faith, and it's all working out for you. Peacock, beware great pride. So this kind of feels like the enemy's working against you energy, because like that toxic group and the narcissist and my friends, like, major pride, major ego, and so be careful of that, because it can lead to some hot messes. But in the end, key, successful outcome to your problems. That's the thing. The universe wants to know everything, wants you to know that everything's working out. You're going to have success. You're going to have prosperity. You're going to have good luck. You're having this fresh start. You're overcoming problems. And it's because you've been working hard and you're staying true to yourself and you're not compromising. Don't compromise on the non-negotiables, on your standards, on your boundaries. Don't be misled. Stay true to you. It's all going to work out. You're being handed the key of success. So persist. Keep going. Stay the course. And yeah, it can be easier said than done because being human is not easy, but you got this. Believe. Don't settle for less. Don't settle for a tight squeeze when you can have a perfect fit. Love yourself enough to know what you want and to not settle for less. Don't play it small. Don't dim your light for anybody. You got this. I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.